Being a digital creator is not hard, but if you do it the wrong way, it's impossible. Have good daily habits and you spend 5 or 10 minutes a day, even 5 minutes a day, you can get to hundreds of thousands of followers online.
It doesn't matter who's in front of you and it doesn't matter who's behind you. If this is your mission or one of the reasons why you're on Earth, you need to show up in this space.
When you talk about everything, you become nothing. The biggest piece of advice I would say is really understand your purpose, passion, and profit.
On episode 480 of the podcast, we are talking about why pricing your services right can make or break your video business. Also, how to create sustainable systems that let your business run without you, and building genuine client relationships that lead to repeat work and referrals. What is up, my friend? Hey, welcome to the Grow Your Video Business podcast, where I'm here to help you build a dominating video production business that can take over the world without the hustle and the burnout. Sort of, something like that. I'm glad you're here. I'm your host, Ryan Coral, and today I'm hanging out with my friend Jeremy Vest, who is super famous, or infamous? No, he has had his hands in helping some of the biggest names on YouTube become even bigger. Or maybe they weren't big, and then he helped me. Anyway, he has done so much goodness in this space, and you're gonna wanna take notes, whether it's you and your YouTube channel or you and YouTube channels for your clients. This is a really, really good one. Before we move on, I want to let you know two things here. Nope, not mastermind. Too late, you've lost your chance for the mastermind. Just kidding. We will open the doors again, but not until the end of 2026 for more mastermind, for next year's mastermind. What I meant to say was Onward Summit, our in-person event. I'm talking about hosting this event in October at our studio. This will be the 6th year of us hosting this event. So we took last year off because I just wanted to take a break and make sure that this was a smart thing for us to keep doing. Plan is we're going to do it. So right now, I think the most popular date, I threw it on the Facebook group. If you're not in there, it's Grow Your Video Business on Facebook. And I just threw a bunch of dates on there. It's like a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday thing in Metro Detroit at our studio, and you stay at a hotel nearby, or if you can somehow sneak into my house, you can stay there. But we meet at the studio, and it is an amazing time of connection, learning, growing, sharing all the things that you wouldn't normally share just via email or whatever, but we get to be in each other's presence, and it is super duper memorable. So mark your calendars. I think it's going to be this first week in October. What other dates are? I'm not sure. It's like October 4, 5, and 6 or something like that. Whatever the first Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. Those were the winning dates the last time I checked. We haven't not booked anything. We haven't locked those dates in, but just pencil this into your calendar. Okay, first Sunday, Monday, Tuesday of October 2026. And then the other thing is, if you're not in the newsletter, you're not going to get the updates. So make sure you're getting the weekly recaps of these emails. And then I'm also sharing about when we're doing fun in-person events and those sorts of things. So grab that newsletter. All new website, growyourvideobusiness.com. Okay, that's been active for a while, but it's just been redirecting to studiosherpas.com/podcast. But now I get to say growyourvideobusiness.com. It's .com. And then on there, you can subscribe to our weekly newsletter and listen to the show there, get directed or redirected to all of the other things going on. So check it out, growyourvideobusiness.com. Nice little refresh there. All built with the help of AI. Thank you again, AI. Pretty soon, I'm going to be running an AI workshop where I'm just going to show how I'm using it to move really, really fast and do bigger, better things than we've ever done before. Yesterday, I sent a client a beautiful landing page, a whole bunch of videos that we had talked about, samples and things like that, and it was personalized. The URL is personalized. It's like this whole experience, and it looks beautiful and all the things. And I mean, that's just like one small thing that we're doing, but it took less than 10 minutes to put this thing together, sent it over to them, and it will wow them. I'm certain of it. And we're just doing a handful of other things. I launched a brand new app. I'll talk about that later. Actually, 2 apps launched this week that I built, and it is insane. And you can do these things inside of your business. If there are needs that you think of, it is not hard to vibe code something. It just takes a little bit of time. And I started building out my own little vibe coded social media creation, like calendar thing. I mean, there's so many apps out there that do this, but I had so many tweaks, like, or so many nuances. Like, I wanted to have my yearly goals, my monthly goal, quarterly goals, monthly, and then weekly, so that when I sit down, I can look at these goals, and then I can create content based on what the goals are for that quarter, that they can be related and not just like, oh, what content could I create today? So that's been fun. I may share that at some point. I mean, I'm happy to share like what it is, but I may create a version that you could use one day on your own and not have to look at my social media schedule and the things that I'm creating. Anyway, all that and so much more. So lots of fun things going on. Make sure you're in the newsletter, growyourvideobusiness.com. You can get the newsletter there. And that's all I got. Let's get into today's episode. Okay, roll the tape. Let's get out of here. What's up, friends? Hey, welcome to another episode of the podcast. I'm Ryan Coral. With me today is Jeremy Vest, who is the founder of Video Niche King. Let me say all of those together. Video Niche King. It was really hard for me to say niche, not niche. And also Creator Unlock, which is how I first met you, was at Jessica's event from Now Marketing Group. And I'm super excited about Creator Unlock. I hope we get to talk about that. But Jeremy has just absolutely crushed things on YouTube for so many people. I don't know if you have a tally of the hundreds of thousands or probably millions of views that you've helped people accumulate, but super excited for us to talk nerdy stuff like YouTube and help anybody that's watching that has thought about launching their own channel or has clients like we do that should be on YouTube and showing up. So anyway, all that. Jeremy, thanks for being here. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. And I lost count after 50 billion. I've been doing this 19 years.
I said hundreds of thousands. That's embarrassing. Sorry, dude. Oh yeah, 50 billion.
Oh, you're good.
No big deal. Like whatever. Where did that start? Like what were you doing at the beginning? Did you have your own YouTube thing going, or were you working with a friend and were like, hey, I think I could help here?
So I've been a digital marketer since 2000. And in about 2005, 2006, I wanted to teach more digital marketers, because back then digital marketing was pretty new, honestly.
Yeah, I was going to say in 2000, what actually was digital marketing?
I mean, it was actually like SEO and web design. I mean, there was a lot going on already in digital marketing. Yellowpages.com.
Ooh.
There was a lot going on, actually. So around 2005, 2006, I created an online training company because I wanted more people to learn how to do this. I've pretty much from day one been a 1% earner in marketing.
Yeah.
And I just sincerely wanted to help more people make more money doing this stuff. So I created a online training company, kind of like a lynda.com. Lynda ended up selling for $1 billion to LinkedIn. My company didn't make it, but when we were doing things, we helped Adobe create Adobe Television. We created the first 30 hours for them, and they ended up doing like 10 million visits a month for a very long time until they canceled Adobe Television. Obviously, they're just using YouTube now. Yeah. But so I was able to just really help a lot of digital marketers learn more skills. And by about 2006, I pretty much went full time into YouTube, YouTube strategy. And so I've really been around it a long time, and I've done probably more tests than most.
Yeah, right.
And I've been doing it at the highest level. I've been able to, speak around the world, and it's been really cool. I've worked with 20 of the top 100 brands in America, and I work with some pretty big channels.
What's been some of the best advice that you think you've given over that time for companies growing or wanting to grow on YouTube?
The thing that almost everyone gets wrong, and the advice that actually it's the reason it's the name of my book is Niche King, YouTube Niche King, is because the way YouTube works is they are going to serve videos to people with a watch history of what you do. So even though I'm 49, I still skateboard all the time. And I am going to be served skateboard videos because I'm a skateboarder. I'm also going to be served fishing videos. And if you go to the homepage of YouTube, you can look at the top little gray boxes and you can actually see what YouTube thinks is your watch history. And those are called topics. It's really just keywords, but it's topical keywords. And you can click on those little boxes and you can see what YouTube deems is your search history and your what topics you're into. So the biggest mistake people make is doing all the things, talking about all the things. And 2026, instead of talking about fitness, I would talk about calisthenics for men over 40 trying to lose weight. You want to be the underwater basket weaver now. You don't want to be the generalist. And so, okay, you have a niche. For example, Roger Wakefield is one of my customers. I started working with him when he had about 100 subscribers. Now he has almost 2 million.
Yeah.
2 million followers total on all the platforms. He's the most famous plumber in the world.
Yep.
And why did he get there? Like how did that happen? He teaches all things plumbing. He talks to plumbers, he talks to apprentices, he talks to plumbing companies, he talks to moms and dads fixing their leaky toilet. So he is known as the guy that does plumbing stuff. Cottonelle pays him a lot of money to make videos, and he is known as plumbing. If you really think about all the biggest channels in the world, they do one thing and they do it well and they do it different than anyone else. So the way YouTube works is by watch history and then click, watch, like. So click is the titles and thumbnails and previews. Watch is watch time, like hooks and storytelling and scripts and editing. And then like is likes, comments, and shares. I just taught you the entire algorithm very quickly. But so the biggest advice I have helped about, 50 plus people become the biggest niche king or queen in the world, whether it's drywall or plumbing or real estate or investing. I've pretty much helped, a lot of people become the number one person for what they do in the world. And that is very important. If you are talking about skateboarding today and breakdancing tomorrow, you'll be nothing to no one. Because when you talk about everything, you become nothing. So the biggest piece of advice I would say is really understand your purpose, passion, and profit. Think of these as 3 circles that are overlapping each other. If you're not living your purpose, you're probably going to give up your YouTube channel. If you're not passionate about what you do, you're probably going to give up your YouTube channel. And if you're not making profit, you have to go make money. So you're probably going to eventually give up your YouTube channel. So that is my biggest piece of advice, is to really own your niche and talk to your exact persona. Don't talk to anyone else. And one piece of advice I would give your exact audience is YouTube is not filmmaking. Totally different.
Good. Yeah.
And 1 second. You don't have 5 seconds to hook people. You have 1 second.
Like this.
Exactly.
Throw something. I love that. Understanding your purpose, passion, profits. There are a lot of, over the last couple of years, a lot of YouTubers have quit, right? Because one of those things either got old or just became too much work, and there was, the passion behind it. That I love making sense of that, because I think when, like what you're saying, when you get clear on those, it just makes it a lot easier to make. It's like, oh, okay, I know what content I need to create, versus feeling like you need to be everybody to everybody, and that's not interesting or exciting or helpful and special for the people that might be watching.
If you can't explain to your grandmother in less than 6 words what you do on YouTube, you do too much.
Yeah. That's funny. Well, when I first met Roger at actually at Jessica's event, shout out Jessica, now marketing group, I'm seeing all these people that are my age and younger in the lobby. We're just hanging out. And then I see this guy who's got, he's got some gray hair and a sweet mustache. And I'm like, so,
Very sweet.
who are you? Yeah, I'm Roger. I'm like, what do you do? Like, how did you end up here? And he's like, pull out your phone. He's like, open up YouTube app. He's like, you got YouTube? And he's like, type plumbing. And I type plumbing and I'm like, oh, there he is. Oh, like, whoa, wow, that's really cool. I mean, how many people can say that or do that? Well, according to you, you've got 20 that you're hanging out with. So that's impressive.
I've definitely seen him do that at least 6 million times in my life. It's pretty funny.
It's like go-to. I mean, I would do it too. Be like, hey, you know what? We'll just let the channel speak for itself.
I mean, he ranks number 1 in the world on the 2nd largest search engine in the world for the word plumbing, plumber, and plumb. Oh like, gosh. How to plumb. So
insane.
Yeah, it's pretty, and he's in his 60s. This is not a young man's game. This is not an old man's game. This is everyone's game.
Yeah. Love that. When, let's just say I'm a plumber and I meet somebody like Roger and I hear somebody like you say like, oh yeah, I helped Roger get to this place. And you're talking about niching. And I feel like, I'm going to change careers because there's no way I can't compete with this guy. He already owns this space. So it doesn't make any sense for me to make videos on plumbing. What do you say to that person?
Well, what I'm going to say is, Pepsi versus Coke. This is the way I feel about it. Maybe you're not 60. Maybe you're a different race. Maybe you come from a different country. You are going to give someone a different flavor than someone else. And I'm going to resonate with people different than Roger or different than you. And this is why I'm talking about the purpose, passion, and profit, right? Knowing who I am as a human. By the way, I say the word human a lot these days because of AI.
Yeah, right.
I found out yesterday, I just did this math. I've been skateboarding and listening to punk rock music for 40 years, 1986, since I've been 9.
Let's go.
So I am a goofy introvert, probably on the spectrum, ADHD, skateboarding, YouTube, punk rocker. And there's not a lot of me's out there, And believe it or not, as goofy as I am, I can relate to someone differently than you could. And you can relate to people differently than I can. So it's not about that. It's not about, oh, he already is the king. And I'll say it a whole different, like 50 other ways. What if you were the king of leaky foundation repair? What if you're the king of commercial plumbing? What if you're the king of whatever other plumbing there is out there? That's all I got for plumbing. I don't know anything else. My point though is there can be 1,000 Roger Wakefields, but there can only be one mustache.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of freedom in that. It is something that, as a creator myself, something that I have for so many years struggled with, knowing that there are other filmmakers, there are other people that run video production businesses, there are other people that do some of the same things that I do that are, man, I look at their stuff or their branding or the way that they present themselves. And I'm just like, man, like, why would I even waste a breath trying to compete in that space? And so not for better or worse, but for worse, I've silenced myself. I've held back from sharing, but it's the way that you describe how somebody should be thinking about showing up. I think it's just the most beautiful thing when you just look at people, humans, our communities, our cultures, all of that stuff. It's like we're drawn to certain people and we're drawn to certain ways and we resonate different. You can have a Roger Wakefield and somebody that is even the same age as him, but comes from a different place and has a different perspective. And that story, that's why as a storyteller, when I'm working with a company and we're talking about how important it is for them to have a brand story so that is their differentiator. Like they can be offering the same product or service as somebody else. They can have existed for as long, but it's like their story, the reason, their why is different, their purpose, their passion, like all that stuff is different, even if it's just 1 degree different, and you're going to resonate different. And there are some people that would say like, man, I love Roger's plumbing videos and I love Tom's like I like them both. So I'm going to watch them both. It's not like a all or nothing sort of thing, right?
Exactly. I am learning. I bought a boat last year and I'm learning how to fish in the ocean. And,
Wow.
I watch a lot
Be
of like
careful.
fishing channels. Yeah, definitely. I watch a lot of fishing channels
Yeah.
and there is loyalty there, but it's more like, oh, they caught a fish. That's cool. It's more about that. So, and there's definitely different people. Some people are from up north and they say water instead of water. They like water. That's about it. That's all my jokes I got today.
All right. So, I want to give that permission to people to just say it doesn't matter who's in front of you and it doesn't matter who's behind you. If you have this passion and you feel this purpose, this is your, whatever your thing is if this is your mission or one of the reasons why you're on earth, you need to show up in this space. I mean, the amount of people watching YouTube, the people that are searching for the thing that you can help with or encourage or the perspective that you can bring. I mean, it is your responsibility. I'll say that to show up, and sure, live in person, that's the best. That's where our hearts are going to connect the most. But you can't always be at all of the events doing all the things. So why not have some content that can live online to where people can learn and grow and be inspired and be helped because of what you have to offer?
Events are great. But in the last 3 weeks, I've got like 300 or 400,000 views. I don't know 300 or
You probably
400,000
haven't yet.
people, one thing I want to say is like, I actually have been behind the scenes for these 19 years. I just started, honestly, I really started like trying to promote myself in the last 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of reasons. One of the reasons you just mentioned, like Daryl Leaves and Sean Cannell and some of the best people in the world already do a better job than I could ever do. But then I want to guilt your audience here, if you don't mind, real quick.
Do it. Just lay it on them.
I'm going to. I'm going to hit them right in the emotion. So think about this. I have a personal mission to help 100,000 businesses create their YouTube strategy. YouTube strategy and niching down is way more important than anything else. Like that's the most important part. And I definitely have, 50 billion views of authority there. Quite honestly, even more than almost every other YouTube strategist I know, besides just a couple. And I was like, you know what? I am being so selfish. How dare I not give my gifts, my natural born gifts to the world? And who am I to do that? Like, that is so unbelievably selfish. Yeah. So I just called your entire audience selfish that doesn't do their own videos, by the way. But I mean, if you think about it that way, it makes more sense. And I'll be honest with you, we all probably have a lot of trauma. Yeah. My first investor was really mean to me every time I was on camera. Really mean. He was like, oh, wow. So then I just didn't want to be on camera, but I loved the science behind it and I could easily help people get views and make money. So I just kind of stuck in that lane. But then I remembered, I'm like, I'm actually being pretty selfish. And 3 weeks later, I have over 400,000 organic views on various platforms.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm like, okay, I should have done this 19 years ago.
Mm-hmm. So we'd be on your private jet plane recording this podcast right now instead. Way to
probably
go,
not, but
what would you say? Like, I met you I think it was this past summer. And then, were you at AI? You were at AI Marketing World. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I actually
Sorry,
founded
been
that
there.
conference, believe it or not.
Oh yeah, that's right. Of course you're there. There's been a shift in your life. You had posted some stuff not too long ago, and I just said, dude, I just love what you're sharing and how you're sharing it. And I think for everybody, there is that moment of like, okay, I don't want to show up on YouTube. I was chatting with some ladies that own a creative agency yesterday, and they're trying to show up, but there's not a lot of confidence. It's just like, I'm just gonna do it because I feel like I'm supposed to. But for those who really, really believe in that mission, they have to have that moment where it's like, I just have to do this. What happened? What changed for you to go from that, like, oh yeah, not thinking about being selfish or anything like that, to saying like, you know what, I just got to do this. I'm this, skateboarding punk, whatever, 49-year-old guy, but like, I just think that I need to do this.
About 3 years ago, I got divorced. And what I realized, and no disrespect to my ex-wife of almost 20 years, but I realized I became small. And it wasn't her fault. It was just part of the process of grieving and things like that. And my first investor being really mean to me every time I was on camera, just like rolling his eyes, like, oh, wow, you're really bad at this. We all have those moments, right, of just getting small in our own little world.
Yeah.
I have lost about 50 pounds in the last 3 years. Maybe not that much, but pretty close to that.
Yeah.
And what I started doing about 3 years ago is I just started walking, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to walk half a mile today. I was like, holy crap. And then I walked a mile, and then I ran a full marathon, and then I did an Ironman. And
wow, dude, let's go.
Yeah. And then, now I walk, 5-10 miles every day. Just, I live by the river. It's really pretty, and it just helps me from a mindset perspective. So now I'm strong.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why am I small in my life? Like, why is my audience small? Why is my bank account sometimes small? And I feel like if you think about being a digital creator, like walking for the first time or running for the first time, just put in those reps, do those first 100 videos, put one foot in front of the other. And if you actually believe in your mission, and you believe in your message, and you believe in the gift, passion and purpose and profit, then it just makes sense. It's not a thing. What I find is the blue collar workers I work with, the plumbers and roofers, almost always destroy even people like you guys that are filmmakers. And I'll tell you why. There's one fundamental truth. Analysis paralysis. They don't think they do. And a lot of them are really smart. So they do, and then they improve 1% every upload. And then they do, and they're like, oh, that didn't work. I'll try this. And someone like Winnie the Pooh is going to be better at YouTube than you, probably, because they're just going to happily go through the motions and not think about it. And I know that sounds crazy, but if you improved your titles and thumbnails and storytelling and scripts and hooks and editing every week for 10 years, you're going to be pretty dang good in 10 years.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's really good. Oh man. Okay, I'm hoping that we're unlocking some things for people today.
Exactly.
Okay, so we don't have a ton of time, and I just want you to give us all the things. Okay, I'm just kidding. I mean, we don't have all the time in the world here. For somebody that's sitting here and now we're unlocking some things, and they're thinking like, okay, like, but where do I even start? Or maybe I have started and it just hasn't, like, it doesn't feel great. Like I've got 17 views, 10 of them are me. My mom watched it, and I don't know, some couple of random people from far away. What's a good next step?
So the first step is not just hit record. I actually think that's terrible advice, to be honest with you. The first step is to understand your value to the viewer and your niche. That's step one. Because if you don't know your value to your viewer, you don't know the value to the algorithm. The algorithm doesn't know who you are. You're going to shatter your audience into a million little fragments of broken glass, because every time you post about a different subject, it's a different audience. They're not going to trust you if you keep on doing the different things every time. If you look at any big YouTuber in the world, any of them, they may be a news channel, but that's news. That's consistent. Mr. Beast might talk about a whole bunch of things like digging wells in Africa or having 1,000 people see for the first time, but it's all the exact same thing. It's entertainment. He's either giving money away or helping people. That is a theme. That is an absolute theme. And just like Scooby-Doo, where they take off a mask at the end of every single episode, every single thing he does is the exact same. The hooks, the pace, the editing, everything he does is the exact same. And so this is what I would say. What I would tell a creator that is struggling is you have to know the value to your viewer and you have to know your niche. Secondly, now that you have that information, you can then go study the top 300 to 500 most viewed videos in the world for your keywords, keyword phrase. So for example, with Roger, I could say plumbing or plumbers. I could sort by most viewed or most popular, and I could make a list of the top, 300, 500 videos. Then I could copy and paste those into like an Excel document. And then I could run those through a AI program, and I could say, out of the top 100 most viewed videos in the world for my niche, create 5 title formulas that get the most views. Tell me the exact formula for a thumbnail to get the most views. Take these 100 transcripts from these 100 most viewed videos in the world and create a scripting custom GPT or a scripting formula that's going to ensure that I have a very good hook and I can keep people watching for at least 70% of people watching in the first 30 seconds of a video. That's a big trigger, by the way, for YouTube.
Okay.
And so basically what you're going to do, even if you have analysis paralysis and you're a nerd like most videographers I've ever met, you can still decode what the top 100 videos are, and you can go make your own versions of that. So find your niche, go create 100 videos of the most popular videos ever watched in the history of YouTube. Then and only then, after those first 100 videos, go do your own thing. Learn from your success and innovate forward. The biggest problem that people have is not knowing what they do, what their value is.
Yeah.
And then not understanding the top 100 most viewed videos in the world for your niche, and then not executing every single week. If you can get past that, if you can go make your versions of the most viewed videos in the world, you have your niche, you're going to be unstoppable. And one thing that a lot of people don't understand, especially very technical people, is they don't understand that with 10,000, 20,000 subscribers, you can make 7 figures easily. Yeah. A lot of people, I definitely work with channels over 1 million subscribers that are struggling or are baristas at Starbucks.
Yeah.
If you don't have a business around your media empire, then it's kind of useless. So imagine you have 10 or 20,000 people that are actually caring about what you have to say. You could easily help them by giving them a product or a service or being an affiliate for someone else's product or service. You are a trusted advisor, and that opens a lot of doors. So if you never want to have to look for a job again in your life, become a personal brand. One thing I'm going to say is with AI, who are you? What's your value? And my suggestion is, are human sides. The reason I'm talking about being a punk rock skateboarder and 49 and all this other stuff is very intentional. It's because I want to be a human. I don't want to be a robot.
So far, it doesn't seem like you're a robot. I really do think that you're there, and that unless you've done a good job tricking me.
You never know.
10,000 people, 10,000 subscribers or whatever, those that have only, and I'll just say only. I wish I had 10,000 subscribers on my channel. Maybe you can help. What to think about making 6 figures or 7 figures? What kind of like paint a picture of like what could that look like for somebody?
A lot of people are really obsessed with getting monetized on YouTube.
Yeah, sure.
Most people that finally get monetized make $1. Like, oh wow, that's so awesome. I made $1 last month.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah. So unfortunately, it's not your fault. We're just not educated in how to make money online, right? And the way I would think of it is having your own products or services is the number one way to make money. And I'll say it like this. Let's say you sold $300 million jets, like a 737.
Yeah.
You need one view to make millions of dollars. You need the right person to buy your jet, and you're done. Like, you made millions of dollars off that sell. So think of it this way. I have a lawn care life. I have a YouTuber in Birmingham, Alabama. He has about 200,000 subscribers. And he is basically the king of teaching people how to make their own weed control businesses, like lawn care. And I would not doubt if he doesn't make 7 figures a year.
Yeah.
Let's say you're an agency and you did storytelling videos for customers, and you got 10 retainers from your YouTube channel, all $5,000 a piece per month. That is $50,000 a month. That's $600,000 a year. And they found you through your YouTube channel. So it's not hard, but it does take dedication and like an actual business philosophy and thought process. Also, think about it this way. You can get brand deals. You can do referrals, make affiliate commissions. You will make a little money as AdSense and, advertising, but that's got to be the last thing. When I was running the largest skateboard channel in the world, at our peak months, we were making over 6 figures just on YouTube AdSense. But we were getting 30, 40, 50 million views and only making $100,000, so that's a lot of views for a little bit of money, to be honest with you. If you could take those views, those 40, 50 million views, and sell skateboards, then you're going to make millions, not 100,000.
Okay. Well, I think we're talking to 2 different audiences. We've got the filmmakers in the room, that want the soft lighting, want the good camera, want the good audio, all of that stuff. And then you've got the other people who are like, is my phone good enough? So that's my question. Is like, just tell me gear wise, like what do people need if they want to get 10,000 followers or subscribers, and they would love to make 6 figures? Like what do you need? What have you seen that has worked? And is there a minimum requirement?
I would say the minimum requirement is probably a tripod and a $30 to $40 wireless mic. That's probably honestly like a smartphone, and $30 or $40 of a wireless mic is honestly what's more important than lighting. What's more important than quality is storytelling, hooking people in, titles, and thumbnails. That is a billion times more important. I ended up selling my Sonys and, $3,000 lenses. I just have an action camera, and an iPhone 17. And I'll be honest with you, I have probably gained at least 5 to 10 billion views over the 19 years on iPhones. So one thing I will say, especially to the filmmakers, is the biggest change in the history of YouTube happened last year. And that is Smartphones have always been the majority of views on YouTube. In America now, televisions get more watch time than smartphones. That is a monumental change. And the reason it's a change is people lean back and watch television shows. They're probably still on their phone swiping on Instagram at the same time they're watching YouTube.
Right.
But it is a very big difference. And the difference is I was on Mr. Beast's Beast Games, right? And it was $100 million Amazon Prime TV show, the first season. So
Wait, you were on that show?
Mhm.
I saw you then.
Well, it's actually on the first episode. You probably didn't see me, but anyways,
Dude, how fun.
my point is Mark Rober and Mr. Beast and a lot of these other brands are building the biggest TV shows ever.
Yeah.
Like actually, like some of the most viewed shows of all time. Why are they doing that? Because they have stories to tell and they have audiences that they built. So production value can be absolutely critical depending on what kind of content you make. At the same time, you've probably seen more cat videos and dog videos on an iPhone 1 than you have anything else,
Right.
So telling a good story, hooking people within 1 second, not 5, and having mechanisms from whether it's editing or storytelling to keep people moving along the story and watching for a very long time is so much more important than any type of equipment. Every one of us at this point, or most of us, even in the world, have a phone good enough to make a video. And I would even argue, Red Camera has an iPhone app that, has LUTs and all kinds of crazy stuff.
Right.
So I would even argue that with the right equipment and an iPhone, you would not even be able to tell that it was an iPhone.
Yeah, that's hard. It's hard for the filmmakers to hear that. I know this because, the thought is, well, I need to create something that if a potential client is going to hire us, like it needs to look and sound like they're going to want to look and sound. But man, we've been battling, and I'll say battling because I want the beautiful sound and the gorgeous fall off and all of that stuff. But at the end of the day, the client just needs a video that's going to work. It's going to help them get clients and see a return. And so the light, there's an argument for, and hopefully no potential clients are listening to this, but there's an argument for, hey, just a shaky iPhone is going to feel more real than, Ryan's stabilized cinematic, blah, blah, blah. So man, to think about that makes us think, okay, maybe it doesn't have to be overproduced. Maybe showing up with a story is more important, which I would say yes.
Until recently, Mr. Beast would not upload his hundreds of thousands of dollars of video equipment. He would not upload in 4K because every time he did, the quality was too good and his views dropped off.
Whoa.
He does now, but he didn't for many, many, many years. And the truth is, you guys got Peter McKinnon. So I'm just kidding. But, Peter McKinnon is a very good example of very high end, very beautiful storytelling. But if he didn't tell the stories, his video equipment wouldn't matter.
Yeah, that's good. I want to transition to AI and to just think about the way that we search for things, the greater access and more in-depth access to information and all of the things now with Claude and ChatGPT and all of the things. It's so much different for me to pull a transcript from a YouTube video versus watching it. There's a lot of things, and I'm just wondering, what is your you look at the next, we'll just say 3 years, because a lot's going to change over the course of 3 years, but let's just say that over the course of 3 years, do you still think that there's a place for educational type videos where it's like, do you really have to show up and do that? Or can we just AI this? The information is out there. Do I need to hear a real person talking about it? What are your thoughts?
I would say in the next year or two, this is how I would immediately transition my how-to videos. So with Roger Wakefield, we created, if you type in how to fix your leaky toilet, 5 million views, the number one video for that topic in the world, number one ranking, I mean. But I would not make that video in 2026. This is what I do in 2026. I would make that how-to video an edutainment video with tension. So what I would say is, did your leaky toilet cost you $1,000 last year? ? That's what I would do. So now you have this beautiful story with tension, with actual payoff and, things and showing the receipts. Now, all of a sudden, you have a real story, in your grasp, and you can also teach people how to fix their toilet along the way. So there's a big difference between how to fix your leaky toilet in 2026 and did your leaky toilet cost you $1,000 last year? ?
Yeah.
Like, that's a mic drop moment. I hope you guys can appreciate how important that is.
Yeah. Edutainment. That's a very interesting word. I'm not sure I've heard that, but I think that is spot on, because if it's, at least for me, the way that I'm wired, if it's interesting, then you've got me, right? If it's entertaining, if there's this payoff, much more so than, if I've got an immediate need right now, like my toilet's leaking, I'm ChatGPT, I'm going to voice, and then if it doesn't give me and it might suggest a YouTube video. So then I'm going to watch the YouTube video to see how this actually happens. But, if there's another way and it's interesting and entertaining, it's oh, okay, I'm actually going to watch this while I'm, trying to fix this. This is different. And
I have not been to YouTube to do a how-to video in 6 months, not once.
Yeah.
Because I'm on, Gemini or Claude or ChatGPT. And in some of these now, you actually can make the model like a step-by-step. So you can just say, create a step-by-step guide in Gemini, for example, of how to change my alternator in my 1980 Buick. And it's going to be pretty much spot on, or at least way closer than a YouTube video would be.
Yeah, that's fascinating. Yeah, so the entertainment thing, pairing that with any type of educational content, I think to what you're saying, that's really smart in the wave of the future, the wave of now, probably. Yeah, that's a good decision.
And AI also is a big threat to all filmmakers long term. I wouldn't say now, but remember 2 or 3 years ago how bad AI video was, and now it's very good. Imagine 5 years from now. In 5 years from now, I actually believe we're going to go online or on our phone or whatever, on our freckle, we're going to click a button and say something like, take Spider-Man and Superman and Batman and make a new show about them breakdancing, or make a new movie about them breakdancing. I really believe the future of Hollywood is actually us making our own versions of anything we want.
Yeah.
In real time.
Yeah. 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 I mean, yes.
And that's a like it or not. That's just a fact. That's not even, I'm not putting a political spin on this and saying, I think it's a good idea, because I don't.
Yeah.
But I do think it's the reality.
Yeah. Yeah. I think you're right. I mean, we're just seeing more and more things that it's wow, I can make movies now, but there's also this okay, do I want to be the one in charge? Or it's when I designed my first logo, I'm okay, we did it, it's done. But man, I appreciated and respected and actually fell in love with the one that I paid somebody else to create with me. And, at the end of the day, it's there's I can choose my own adventure, or I can let the pro storytellers.
I definitely think everyone watching right now that has an agency or creates videos, I do believe they have a place in helping others still. I just believe they're going to be more of like an orchestra, like a conductor, not necessarily a technician.
Yeah, if that's your main focus as a technician, it's going to just get harder and harder, and easier for you to be replaced, unfortunately.
Elon Musk last week or the week before said that all surgeons have 3 to 4 years left
Oh my God.
before they're replaced by robots. I don't know if it's true or not, but I'm going to be honest with you. Like, it wouldn't shock me. I don't know if you saw Boston Dynamic robots 10 years ago compared to last week. They're doing
I didn't see last week.
backflips and kicks and, breaking boards. Like,
Wild.
It's at a point where robots because of AI, are learning faster than humans can learn.
It's on that note. Dude, this is so good. If somebody wants to know more about what you do, I know you've got a lot of opportunities for people to connect with you and to learn and to grow. So where are all the places or the best places for people to find you and to learn more?
Yeah, on Facebook or YouTube, it's just Jeremy Vest or Jeremy A. Vest. I have nicheking.video is where I help. We have a 8-week course. We can do the strategy for you, or we can do it with you. And then Creator Unlock, I have an AI YouTube strategy assistant, basically, that will help you build all of your things through AI. And then the Niche King brand is really more about us helping you. We're still using AI in various purposes, but it's really more one-on-one.
Creator Unlock, one thing that somebody could do right now is they could take their YouTube channel, if they have a YouTube channel, and go to Creator Unlock. Tell them a little bit more about what they can expect to see or get if they do that.
Sure. So we have a free channel audit. So you can put in your channel, and in a few minutes you can get probably one of the most robust reports ever for a YouTube channel audit. We break it down into 6 categories, and it gives you a lot of information, and that part is absolutely free. And then we are actually relaunching Creator Unlock soon. It's going to be $49 a month, and it's basically your YouTube strategy AI assistant, and it's pretty dang powerful.
Dude, I love that. That's cool. And I did get to use Creator Unlock, the audits, and I was just like, wow, this is it was really cool, super informative, and a little depressing too, just because I got a lot of work to do. Okay, so do you have a last charge for us, a last mic drop moments? Give it to us, make us cry, do something. You've already been really mean to us.
Yeah.
What else you got?
I would just say that, like anything in life, being a digital creator is not hard. But if you do it the wrong way, it's impossible. If you have good daily habits and you spend 5 or 10 minutes a day, whether you're scripting, filming, or editing, or uploading, even 5 minutes a day, you can get to hundreds of thousands of followers online. You really could. So just like me taking those first steps, and now I walk 5 to 10 miles every day, not even breaking a sweat, it took me 3 years to get there, right? It took me 3 years it took me 6 months to walk half a mile. It really did. And if we think of it in terms of a daily habit, which habits take 6+ months to form, then it's just part of your DNA. It's just part of who you are. And it's just like brushing your teeth. If you approach it any other way, and especially if you don't have the balance of your purpose, passion, and profit, you're going to fail.
Dude, that's rich. That's really good. I love what you're doing. I love the transformation that is happening before us. I love
Thank you.
Just even in the last 3 weeks of you just no, you're continuing to grow, step out, break through mindset stuff or whatever. I think being a recipient of that, I'm grateful for it. It's really exciting, and I'm grateful to be in your circle, and I'm glad that we got to do this today. I know it's going to be helpful for a lot of people, and I'm probably going to get a lot of emails saying why was he so mean to us?
Exactly.
Jeremy, thank you, man. Super appreciate you. Really, really grateful to have this time together.
Thank you, guys.
Hey, thanks so much for tuning into this episode of the Grow Your Video Business podcast. If you got something out of today's conversation, do me a favor, share it with a friend or post it on your socials. Tag me at Ryan Coral or at Grow Your Video Business. I'd love to know what resonated with you. If you've got a question or a takeaway, drop a comment wherever you're listening or watching this. You can also shoot me a message. I read every single one. And hey, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe so you don't miss the next episode. We've got more stories, strategies, and behind the scenes insights coming your way to help you build a business that you love. Keep creating, keep sharing your story, and keep showing up. I'm cheering you on. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. See you next time.